to another talk on money, business, and investment. My name is Jose. I'm the founder of the company and brand here at Master Investor. If you're new to our community, ensure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you know when we go live or upload a valuable talk that can change our lives as long as we apply the information. That's how we turn information into knowledge. Just information alone is not good enough. We have to apply whatever we're learning. That's why it's essential that we pick whatever we are consuming on a daily basis. We can't just let our time be used by everybody that's not putting anything into our lives in future, specifically our financial future. A lot of people don't pay attention to finances to later on in life because why? Number one, what's the main thing that gets in the way of people getting wealthier? Unfortunately, the answer is a job. So if you're spending time working at a job for 20, 10 years, 5 years, all of that time is used by somebody else that is paying you, of course, for your time, but you're building their networks, you're building their asset column, you're solving their problems. What about our problems? At some point in life, we need to start figuring out why the wealthy get wealthier, why the wealthy tend to get everything so easily, and how can we apply the same skills, mindset, and approach in regards to money. The same exact patterns we're going to copy and we're going to follow through with them. Our mission here at Master Investor is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity through high-quality financial education. Made simple, we look at opportunities to build passive income and true wealth. Check out the links in the description of this audio or live stream, depending on where you are right now. And make sure that you follow us on all of the social media platforms. The links below will take you to tools, resources, ebooks, digital courses that we have available for everybody to take advantage and begin to build their asset column accordingly to the new rules of money and the wealthy mindset. That's what we're doing here inside of our community, is providing the wealthy mindset in different types of products digitally, books, ebooks, seminars, and so forth, even live streams and podcasts and any type of content that we're creating inside our community is to essentially create more wealth for all of us and not to give our money away to anybody else to invest it for us, because that just tells us that the person lacks financial education. So the true foundation of having high financial intelligence is financial education. And the true foundation of true wealth is the ability of reading financial statements and improving them, starting with their personal financial statement. A lot of people have never seen their personal financial statement. They may know how much money they make through their job, right? Even if they're self-employed, they're still not a business owner. Many of self-employed people think that they are business owners, but they're not, because if they have to show up to make the money, then they're still working a job. They own a job, essentially. They may have some people working for them, but they still have to show up because they want to wear the hat at all times of their business. So you need to learn how to delegate if you want to make a shift from the left side of the cash flow circle to the right side of the cash flow circle. 4 players in the game of money. On the left side, we find the employee and self-employed. Exchange time for money, basically working for money, for earned income, which is taxed at the highest bracket. On the right side of the cash flow circle, we find the business owner and inside investor. And the business owner controls or owns systems that do the selling and telling for us, even when we're not working. It's selling a product on autopilot through sales funnels, through our websites, marketing, right, that we're doing to promote that product that our business is serving the world. And we should never build a business just for ourselves. It's supposed to be for the entire world. It's supposed to be for our niche, for the masses, whoever is in need of that solution. Because if it's just for ourselves and it's a hobby, we shouldn't turn it into a business, because nobody's gonna wanna be part of it. So we take a company to serve people, to be generous, to be able to solve a problem in the world. And ultimately, that company has to be profitable. It has to have business integrity, meaning the legalities has to be in order so that we can collect payments and we can keep as much as possible, because we are avoiding to pay taxes legally. Why? Because we're using the new rules of money. We're using the tax code and corporate law into our advantage, because once we operate with a company, regardless of the size of the business or income, we can minimize the taxes because we're using the rules for corporations instead of for people. If you as an individual make a lot of money, because there's no such thing as a lot of money, except that maybe you have a high paying job, right? And you still have to show up for work. You cannot leave that work and really continue to get that money, okay? So essentially, doing it that way is very difficult to become wealthy because you're missing the most important aspect of business, which is learn how to multiply through sound investing. Actively not giving it to anybody else to invest it for the individual or for the employee. The government and the ultra wealthy basically created the fake assets to give to the people that have lack of financial education. Ultimately, the person who's investing that money is not really investing, it's putting it into a fake asset such as a 401k, mutual funds, ETFs, IRA. That is a strategy that is for the poor mindset, really, because you have no leverage, you have no power of what's happening with the company. You probably don't even know the business owners of the company which your money is being invested in. You probably don't even know anything about the company, and you're not learning anything about entrepreneurship. I mean, that is just like having another person come in and take part of your check, like the government does, right? As an employee, you look at your check and it's half gone already due to taxes, because it's taxed at the highest bracket, because the United States is built on a capitalist system. It favors the wealthy entrepreneur and inside investor, the ones that are providing jobs, the ones that are providing solutions in the world, the ones that are producing something for our nation and for the world, improving our nation, essentially, because when we look at that, at what the government wants us to do, they want us to invest in housing, oil, technology, food, and green energy, and other areas in which we get rewarded because we are doing exactly what the government and the laws that were created by who? By the wealthy, but anybody can use them. The problem with people is that they went through the entire sales funnel of the school system, and that sales funnel makes two types of people: employees and soldiers. Employees that work for the corporations of the wealthy, they come out of school and they want to work for a corporation. They want to be the CEO of a company. They want to work up the ladder. Being a CEO of a company is still a job. You want to build a company so that we detach ourselves and we hire the CEO and we hire the people if we need to. But today we don't even need to go as far as that to start building passive income. There are assets in asset classes that we can build with very little employees or team members, if you will, and still be able to have a positive cash flow that is satisfying for the individual controlling that asset. So figure out what is the wealth number that we need in order to create the lifestyle that we want. And the wealth number is not necessarily just measuring money, because if that was the case, the CEO that makes a lot of money, he will be considered to be wealthy, but he's not, because he doesn't have total freedom. So how long can the CEO can go without working and be able to thrive the lifestyle that he has right now, without shrinking, without cutting expenses? How long can he go with the savings, if he has any savings? A lot of people can't make it 6 months before they start panicking because they run out of savings. And if your strategy is to only save money, then that's a poor strategy too. That's losing money because you're not making any money. You're losing due to inflation, you're losing due to taxes because you have to pay taxes on savings, and then you're hindering your entrepreneurial spirit, which essentially that is the ultimate thing that a person can do to take themselves out of the great opportunities that we all have due to technology, being able to talk to each other worldwide so easily. We're more connected than ever before. And if you're not willing to adapt and be flexible, then unfortunately those people will struggle financially and in other areas in life as well. Because if you struggle financially, it tends to extend beyond just the finances. It affects everything because money is a tool that we utilize all the time to make things move from one place to another place, and also to bring things into existence and to get experiences that we want to have. Okay, so money is an essential tool that we must master. We cannot allow money to tell us what to do. We must tell money what to do. Money is our slave. We tell money how to work for us, how to bring money back to us, right? And we have no emotion towards money except that we are the masters of money, that we control money. A lot of people are chasing money. We don't chase money here in our community. We attract money. We know how to raise capital. We know how to put deals together. We talk about money with wealthy entrepreneurs. That brings us ideas. We're networking. We're building our networks all the time. And we're not just talking. We're actually actively investing. So start today, because if you're watching this right now and you're wondering, I would like to have more freedom, I would like to live in this place, then it's possible. You're just maybe only few sentences and few shifts of mindsets, or I call them twists, right? What is our next twist that we need in order to improve our lives? How can we grab what we have now and then scale it, right? And we need somebody else to bring a new perspective. And that person should be a real mentor, meaning that it's somebody that already done what we want to do. And now we get their perspective, because it might just take that little shift from the mindset, the way we're approaching something, and the way we look at things, because when we change the way we look at things, the things that we look at changes. So our perspective always stand on the side of the coin, not just on the, on the third side, on that little strip, like if you have a coin, and not on the face side, on the tail side, on the edge of the coin. That's where we want to be standing. We want to be looking to the left on that side, and we are looking on the other side, so that we have a better perspective and overall perspective. And we're also going to learn today that some of the qualities for a wealthy entrepreneur are things that we already know and we have heard before, but we need to compound that, because we can never have enough of entrepreneurship and learning more about business. Because if you want to become wealthy, we have to be great at investing, not just average. We have to understand how to actively invest. And investing is business. And a lot of people tend to ask questions such as, why are we talking about business if we were going to talk about investing? But the answer is because investing is business. When we invest in any asset class, essentially we're investing in a business. If it's a commercial real estate property, what's the business of that commercial real estate property? Well, if it's a housing place, an apartment complex, multifamily, then the business is multifamily. We're getting rent every month, right? And so there's a business. A stock, when we invest into a stock, that's a business that we're investing into, essentially. Same thing with crypto, same thing with commodities. In business, those are the 5 asset classes that we have, as we know here in our community. And we can all invest in any of them. And we should always diversify among the 5 different asset classes, because that's how we protect ourselves from down economies and hedge for inflation. Today's theme is going to be crucial qualities for success as a wealthy entrepreneur. Creating a successful business by following the skills of wealthy entrepreneurs. Make sure you get the digital courses and ebooks that we have available right now, the 10 new rules of money, how to build cash flow with the internet, turn passive income on, and how to invest in crypto to build wealth, understanding Bitcoin and blockchains. This information is exclusive, and it's going to elevate your financial IQ tremendously. It's going to inspire you. It's going to give you that boost that we all need, and it's a must read. All of our volumes are, okay? Invest in your financial education, and if you do it through our website, you can also get them on Kindle. And if you want a paperback, get them through Amazon. But I recommend you go to our website. When you go there, you'll find that we have each ebook attached into a digital course. So we have turned it into a digital course to emphasize more on that topic. So we're going to add assets as we move along, and that digital course will grow. So when you get the ebook through our website, you have additional assets, and whatever asset we add after you get in, then you will be grandfathered in at no additional cost, regardless of how much it will be in the future, because of course it's going to be more, because we're adding exclusive interviews with wealthy entrepreneurs, celebrities, and people that can emphasize on whatever. It could be a new entrepreneur as well, right? Anybody that is qualified to talk about that volume that we're going to be educating ourselves with through that digital course. So check out the 3 ebooks. We're releasing our 4th ebook in the next month or so. It's called How to Raise Capital to Build Wealth. The job number 1 of an entrepreneur, as we know, is to raise capital, to learn how to do that through businesses. So it doesn't really take money to make money. Before that happens, before we can actually make money, we need to have financial education. Because a lot of people have money saved in the bank. If that was the case, if money could make money, then why are they losing money every year through savings? So money alone does not make money. What makes money is the person behind who's handling that money with the financial education that he or she has, will essentially bring a lot of returns and will bring the entire capital back, and will be able to raise capital and have a positive cash flow from a real asset that was created or acquired, that was already in business. And the foundation of true wealth, as I mentioned earlier on our talk, is that we need to master how to read financial statements, starting with our personal financial statements. When you tap into our digital course, How to Build Cash Flow with the Internet Turn Passive Income On, check out the link in the description. You will have one of the assets is a personal financial statement that you can immediately download into Excel or print it out. I suggest you put it on Excel, and it's already created for you. All you have to do is fill the blanks. And from there, it will teach you exactly where we are financially right now, okay? And how we can improve that. So the relationship between the income statement and the balance sheet will be known to you and revealed through this exercise that should be practiced every week, every time, or you should look at it every day, but every week you can look at that financial statement and update that as we move along, right? Because things will change. We will add more expenses. It's not about cutting expenses. In fact, we need to increase our expenses. We need to increase our assets column. Essentially, that's the main focus, our assets column. Stop focusing in the income column so much. Focus on the assets column, because that will bring positive cash flow into our income column, which will be total freedom for us, because we don't have to work for that passive income. The business is working for us. The investment that we created, yes, we worked at the beginning to create it, to build it, to go through the due diligence. We put our time. Maybe it'll be some sleepless nights that we'll go through, but that is okay. That's part of the game. But the purpose of building a business or acquiring a business is that it runs on itself, so that we can have the freedom and the rewards of having a successful business, delivering a product to the masses, which should be rewarded. So the more generous we are, the wealthier we become. Summary: there are few common traits that all successful entrepreneurs share. Being a successful entrepreneur requires a team and self-motivation, among other things. Don't look for the easy route. These essential traits are a must. Even though every person's circumstances are unique, successful business owners share a few characteristics in common. These characteristics are necessary for success as a wealthy entrepreneur, according to many multi-billionaires, mentors, and also millionaires. It doesn't have to, in order to be wealthy, we don't have to make billions and billions or hundreds of thousands. It's whatever you want to have in your life. Let's say if it's $15,000 per month lifestyle, as long as that lifestyle is being paid by our assets that we are controlling, then you're wealthy. You feel like Bill Gates or any other billionaire, because you have total freedom. You can enjoy the rest of your life because you don't have to work for money. The businesses that you have is paying for your lifestyle, and that is true wealth. So don't focus so much on the millions. If you don't want to make millions of dollars, if you don't want to make billions of dollars, that's okay. Just know that to make $1 million a year, it will be the same effort probably that you put into making $100,000 a year. Same thing with a small business to a big business, a big investment, small investment. It takes the same energy to put it together, to find out, to go through the due diligence. Don't let the numbers instill fear. That's my point. The numbers are just the numbers. You must see it as an idea and nothing else, no physical. So when you hear millions, don't think of it, oh my God, all this physical million. No, think of it as a digital number. It's an idea backed up by confidence. That's all money is. Number 1, be resilient, thick skin. We must keep in mind the majority of the wealthy entrepreneurs in the world started a company that failed, but never quit to learn from the failures in business. Sometimes that is our best teacher. Regretfully, we will make blunders when operating a company, and sometimes we may be forced to close it due to financial difficulties. However, don't ever let that shut down our entrepreneurial spirit. The more appropriate mentors in financial and self-development we have, the less we will fail along the way of our journey, due to the fact that we can simply learn from others' mistakes and don't have to commit them ourselves. There's no rule that says we must be the ones making the mistakes. That is why reading and investing in one's financial education is key to unlock our financial freedom and true wealth fast. In actuality, we can always tell the real financial health behind a person, company, or investment by simply reading the financial statement of the entity. Everyone has a financial statement. Majority of people have never done their financial statement. And that is one of the reasons why majority of the population only knows how to work for earned income, which is taxed at the highest bracket, and it doesn't create true wealth. We can tell if a business is effectively dead after reviewing the finances and knowing what lays ahead of the operation. And also a person, right? A person has a financial statement, so that person can either be making cash flow, doesn't have any assets, doesn't have any liabilities. Some people have no liabilities. All they have is a job, they have income, and they have some expenses. And they're still poor because they're working for money. And the person that works for money all day has no time to really make money, ironically as it sounds, because you're capped at a certain amount of money per day, regardless of how hard you work. And if it's not your business and you're working for somebody else's business very hard while they're enjoying themselves. And if that's something that you love to do, then that's okay. We all have the free will to do whatever we want at the end. The point is that figure out what you want out of life, figure out what are your dreams, and if those things are big enough, then master money, because it's going to be required. And I think it should be mastered regardless of how big your dream is, because money is something that we're going to be playing for the rest of our life with. It's something that's going to be involved in our lives. So master it, talk about it with your family if you have one, because a lot of times people get separated due to the lack of money and lack of understanding how to build wealth together. One is working all day at a job, the other one is working at another job, and they don't even see each other. They leave their kids at home, or not even at home, they leave their kids at daycare if they're young, right? And then now there's somebody else is raising their kids, and by the time they get home, they're tired, everybody's sleeping, and there's not really growth as a family. So don't let the lack of understanding how money is created ruin your life. We must get educated financially. That's why I'm saying go ahead and join our inner circle. It will be the best investment that you can make, because it's in ourselves. It's something that will never be taken away from us. And our information here at Master Investor is the authentic information of the wealthy entrepreneur and inside investor. The highest level of investor is a capitalist, or an inside investor, or a master investor, right? But it's a capitalist, and we need to understand the basics of business and investing. We have to go back to history to understand specific events that happened along the way that shifted and evolved money into what it is today, which is made with debt. Today, money is fake, fiat, debt, currency, an idea backed up by confidence. It's not backed up by gold anymore. August 15, 1971, President Nixon separated the gold standard from the US dollar. From that point forward, money became monopoly money, fiat money, fake money. And we must understand that, because a lot of people still treat money as if it's gold. It's not longer gold. Actually, gold goes up in value, the dollar loses its value. It has lost about 95% since that happened on August 15, which was the best thing that could ever happen to us. And it's not going to take another 30 years to lose the rest of the 5% that is left. But there's something already replacing it, which in my opinion could be crypto. It's a new digital currency. Crypto is not just an asset as we know. Since probably about a year ago, I think, that's when the United States accepted crypto as a currency. So crypto is the new money in town, and we can pay each other with crypto. So it has become more powerful of an asset class by that shift, because now really we can utilize those gains immediately. It's liquid. You can invest in crypto, and whatever gains you have overnight or immediately, you can use them. So it's very liquid. and it's powerful, although it goes up and down just like any other market. So don't think that just investing in crypto and not learning about it, unless you were back in 2011, 2008, or whenever Bitcoin was launched, and a lot of people got Bitcoin when it was really low. It was less than $100. We can tell if a business is effectively good or bad by the financial statements, and a person as well, right? So we need to master how to read our financial statement and how to read an investment's financial statement. We are allowed to do that when we're actively investing, but if you're investing in 401k and fake assets that take money away from you, and there are liabilities, because if it's just taking money away from you today, it's not putting any money in the air at the end of the month, and it's in fact taking money out of your paycheck, then regardless of what the promise is in the future, we measure our return on investment with facts. We want to know how much money we're going to get back right now. We want to see our money coming back now, not in 20, 30, 40 years from now. Nothing guarantees that any of that's going to be there. So it's actually very risky. When you give your money away to somebody else, that's when you lose power and it becomes even riskier. I mean, there are great people out there, great companies that invest money very well, very legal. They're profitable, they're ethical, but that's not what we're doing here. You can go and give your money away with them. It's basically putting the same, it's like basically putting the money in the savings account. So it's nothing changes. They didn't learn anything. You're just giving the money to a company and they're going to invest it for you and they're going to give you a dividend every time they pay everybody else. So what did we learn in that? Nothing. So that's not what we're doing here inside of our community. Okay, so if you want that type of information, if you want that, then you need to go somewhere else to learn about those assets. Although we cover some of those assets here because we like to, shine light on everything so that we are aware of everything that is existing right now to create passive income. There are great companies that will give you passive income on real estate if you don't like to do it all yourself. Okay, we did an article on that before, but if you really want to learn how to actively invest, then this is a channel for you. This is how you're going to build your wealth. And to make $1 million a year, it's not that much, because all we need to make is $2,750 per day on profit. Today, there are high-ticket items that will do more than that just on one sale. And the overhead cost of having a digital business is like very low compared to a physical store. So there are zero excuses to have in order to build wealth. You shouldn't have any excuses right now. It was 100 years before, maybe some excuses should lack of technology, lack of a bunch of resources. But today, take advantage of everything that we have, because it has never been a time like this before. We're living in the best times. We're living on the edge of getting wealthy overnight is possible. A lot of people have become wealthy overnight, but although it may cost them energy and effort, right? Maybe through a platform like TikTok or any other platforms that are paying people through ad revenue, sponsorship. It becomes passive income. If you create a video that goes viral and is doing millions and millions of views, it could be even a 10-second video, and now they're paying you. Well, that video itself, even though you put in maybe an hour to do the video, 30 minutes or whatever to shoot the video, it could be something so silly, but it's getting a lot of views. And now the platforms, YouTube, TikTok, or whatever you have that video on, they're paying you for ad revenue because your video is being spread through people's eyes, right, across their smart devices. And so that becomes an asset now. And better yet, if you have a video with a link that you can promote something else, a product or something, maybe related to the product itself, then even better, right? Because now you can capitalize on not only the ad revenue, the sponsorship and all of that through the video analytics, but you can also profit from a high ticket item or even a low ticket item. If it's a subscription product, then you get residual income every month. So we don't even need to create our products ourselves to start bringing in passive income, but we need to get started today. We cannot sit on the information and let time go by without doing anything. We can say with accuracy that the foundation of true wealth is in the ability to read financial statements and improve them, starting with our personal financial statements. To hear that and listen, we have to be really tough. Don't fall in love with the investment vehicle, because if it needs to be shut down due to financial difficulties, then it will be easier to do so if we have no build sentimental towards the investment vehicle. Anyway, we should only build a company and brand for the world, not necessarily for us, because if it only is for us, then it's only a hobby, not a true business that solves other people's problems, as it should. We could have kept the company operating on life support, right? But that would have done nothing but postpone the inevitable, which is, an down business that doesn't have any future. We see it all the time with people like that refuses to adapt to the new technology. We saw it with Toys R Us. Why did they fail? They were one of the biggest toys company in the world, very famous. When COVID hit, they didn't want to shift to have all the products digitally. And Amazon is a big deal too. Amazon has taken over. You can get basically anything on Amazon. And if you take it to the next level, you go straight to Alibaba Express or Alibaba and get it from China straight. So, if you're not willing to change as an entrepreneur, as a company, then that company must be shut down. So maybe they could have kept some of the Toys R Us operating on life support, but they didn't because there was no future. The inevitable will happen, which will be the business eventually on its own shut down because it would just be empty. No customers, no one interested in the products. If they can get the product on Amazon, then why they should get it from them in a store? They have to drive. They can get it on Amazon delivered tomorrow, right? So many things that we need to understand about where the future is heading so that we can adapt and prepare for any type of economy. It would have been simple for anyone to give up on their entrepreneurial goals after closing a business due to the disappointment, but we must keep going. All we have to be right is one time. Whether we always throw ourselves into starting our next venture as soon as possible. Many will advise us to get employment, particularly because we have already experience on successful ventures. We must develop a thick skin when it comes to business and investing because we will encounter resistance along the way. And we must know our goals and financial projection of our lives, because that way we have a stronger will to say no, to stick to our mindset to become wealthy, to create wealth, that even if we failed on the first time, or the second, or the third time, we're going to continue to do so because we know that we just have to be right one time, and we need to learn from each venture, successful and unsuccessful. In fact, we will learn more from the unsuccessful ventures than the successful ones. The bottom line is that having thick skin will be necessary for us to face hard truths and keep going forward if we want to be a wealthy entrepreneur. Number 2, create a fantastic network. Investing in business are team sports. Additionally, the adage, no person is an island unto themselves, is quite old. Entrepreneurs that are successful are hustlers and ethical. We are constantly eager to network and form connections with individuals that could be of use to us in our business. This implies that we are not allowed to have a literally 9-to-5 schedule. It may be necessary for us to make that late night or early morning phone call in order to communicate with someone abroad, or going out to a specific spot to meet somebody, to network. It could be even at nighttime. So invest in networking, not necessarily to go out and party, but go out there prepared. When we go out there, we're going to meet potential partners, and it could be even an investor or somebody that's going to be a part of our team, not just a client. okay? Or we may meet somebody that will connect us with the right individual because he or she will have it in the networks. By providing value to that individual, then we open up doors of other networks that are behind each person. Or perhaps we have to attend a conference or convention for the entire weekend. Even places like hostels, hotels, and other highly trafficked hotspots, we can network and increase our network fast and wealth very quickly. But we need to be the right individual. We need to speak the right language. We need to improve our vocabulary. We need to work on our communication skills, how to have effective comm cycles. Communication cycles. We will also have to put in a lot of effort into developing our network of supporters. For instance, Master Investors team includes a variety of consultants, including accountants, lawyers, and advisors, but not limited. We must treat a small business as a big business and vice versa. That way we are always on expanding and protecting our wealth, right? And that's what we want to be, on our tippy toes all the time. We don't want to get our success go to our head. We don't want to do that. We don't want to have the ego when it comes to having successful businesses, because it will blind us of potential things that could harm the business. And because we were too busy on our ego, then we may miss some things that is going to could potentially take the business down. So always treat it as if it's a small business, and when it's a small business, treat it as it's a big business. We will also have to put it that way we are always expanding. Okay, I said that our inner team must be the greatest in the business, and they aid in our achievement, right? Our team will determine how successful we are. So we need to become great leaders. We need to bring out the best out of other people. This is a result of the considerable time and attention we put into finding, connecting with, and partnering with the best individuals to fulfill our business mission. The good news is that creating a strong network is among the simplest and most enjoyable things we can do. We can accomplish it today. All we need to do is get started. It does not take us to be great to get started, but we must get started to ever become great at anything. Number 3, seek to exalt rather than to be praised. Being an employee will be a better option for someone who needs continuous validation than being an entrepreneur. Most workers receive ongoing feedback in the form of one-on-one meetings and reviews. The majority of entrepreneurs receive either no feedback at all or very bad feedback, indicating that they have made mistakes either in the shape of negative reactions from the market or staff uprisings. Being an entrepreneur requires a high degree of self-awareness in addition to self-confidence. The most successful business leaders spend a lot of time reflecting on their decisions and making necessary considerations and corrections after talking with our excellent staff and networks, right? And we make critical decisions that will impact the future of that business and brand. This is significant since managing people is a major aspect of becoming an entrepreneur. This implies that rather than waiting for recognition to come our way, we must truly enjoy praising our partners and staff, bring the best out of other people. It's not about us, it's about our team and the world the market that we serve in. And hopefully we have a product that can be scalable among everybody. Like, look, Coca-Cola, I mean, maybe not all vegans and all healthy people will drink Coca-Cola. I like to drink Coca-Cola maybe once in a while, perhaps, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I haven't drank one in a long time. I don't know, probably years now, but probably less than years. I love it, right? When it's cold, it's nice. And so even though I'm a healthy person, well, Coca-Cola sold me a Coke before. So I'm a potential client for them always, because they can always market to me, and I might get thirsty one day and get a Coca-Cola. So it's an item, it's a product, it's a true brand that can be delivered to even the people that may not ever consider drinking Coca-Cola. So they can always open new markets. We want to have a product that essentially can impact the world, okay? And hopefully we want to stay in the healthy and positive side. We want to create products that will improve generations after generations, right? And that's my take on it. I like to do things that, if I'm going to be doing that as a business and serving the world, I want to be serving quality, and I want to be able to be of positive impact throughout my business's operations. Giving people a job, seeing them succeed, and praising them are some of the greatest pleasure of being an entrepreneur. It really is. Number 4, and there's nothing wrong with being an employee, okay? We need great employees. This is for people that want to be wealthy entrepreneurs. And if you're an employee and you want to shift your mindset, then you can. You know, and this is for you too. Okay, it's just two mindsets when it comes to money: the poor mindset, the wealthy mindset. To keep things very simple, that's what it is. The poor mindset has the middle class and the poor class in it. It's just the way we think about money, and then the difference between the wealthy and the poor, right? How we think about money, it determines whether we have the wealthy mindset or we have the poor mindset. And we need to maybe just replace new belief systems. A lot of people are taught by their wrong mentors, parents, family members, teachers that didn't know anything about wealth, because they're still playing with the old rules of money. They were taught that money was gold, and that's why they save money. So you cannot let money control your emotions. We have to take control over the money and the trajectory of money. Every time we touch money, it must have a plan to go to work. And again, there's also nothing wrong with saving money as long as we have an investment plan attached to it. Okay, we're gonna save this 50,000, this 10,000, this 100,000 to invest in this commercial real estate property because they're asking for the 10% down. And let's say you looked at any other credit card company that you could maybe acquire, because remember, if you have 100,000 now cash, you could just get a credit card based on that $100,000 by putting that into a checking account that is a business account, and you can actually probably raise the 100,000 and use the bank's money instead of your capital. And now you use your capital to raise even more capital. Now instead of 100,000, we have 200,000. Plus, we're getting a loan from another bank to fulfill the 90% of the commercial real estate property. So a lot of times, as we grow our wealth, we will understand that we will control things rather than owning things. We will control debt, we will control assets, and that's more important than ownership. At the end of the day, that's a shift that we need to make. Poor people like to own things, wealthy people like to control things. That's the reality. Number 4, have self-motivation. Workers arrive at work every day for fear of losing their job if they don't. When we first start our own business, nobody's forcing us to work. That is something we must undertake on our own. Starting and growing a business is a laborious task. We will fail if we are unable to motivate ourselves each and every day. Furthermore, it can be simple to sit back and allow our business run itself once it is up and going. However, as they say, we are dying if we're not growing. Starting a business requires a significant investment of energy, but the work doesn't end here or there. To keep expanding and changing as the market does, we have to be self-motivated, which brings us to our final crucial entrepreneurship quality. Number 5, show adaptability. Many independent contractors want to consider themselves business owners, but in most cases they are not. A self-employed person who prefers or genuinely wear one hat, such as a writer or lawyer, an entrepreneur who must wear numerous hats in order to establish a business, are very different from one another. In addition, the business owner controls system of systems that work hard for us doing the selling and telling to close new sales for us without having to work in the business. We will always work on the business but not in the business. Very different. A true business is built to run itself and raise capital through direct sales from the front end and from banks or other lenders from the back end of the business. When we build a true brand, not just a company, then we will begin to have unlimited amounts of capital to work with to invest for passive income or positive cash flow and capital gains income due to the fact that money will find us, or we will find the money, because money is always looking for places that it can grow and multiply successfully. Banks like us to bring good deals to them because the more assets that they control, the more money they can lend. Depending on the day, we may need to wear our manager hat to have a difficult conversation with an employee, our accountant hat to balance our books and project cash flow, our lawyer hat to negotiate a contract, our marketing hat to make changes to our website, and our sales hat to seal a deal. As we grow our cash flow in business, we will delegate to other professionals and independent contractors to fulfill the essential tasks of our business. Remember, business must run itself without us in it. Focus on controlling systems and expand our assets column to become a wealthy entrepreneur. Budget to become wealthy. Don't budget to save money. In fact, we need to learn how to spend more money to be able to become wealthy. Wisely spending, wisely investing, calculated, having a plan for every single dollar that we touch. The most successful business people can switch between roles as needed every single day. What are we waiting for now that we are aware of Master Investor's 5 requirements for becoming a wealthy entrepreneur? Now is the moment to begin. Choose a side of the cash flow circle. Where are we and where do we want to build for the rest of our lives? We have the left side and right side of the cash flow circle with 4 players. Number 1, employee, found on the left side of the cash flow circle, has a job, works for earned income, tax at the highest bracket. Number 2, self-employed, be on the left side of the cash flow circle, owns a job, and he or she consider themselves as the best that can do what they do. Therefore, they must show up to see their clients. Without the self-employed working, they make no money alike to the employee. Number 3, business owner, owns and controls systems. Number 4, inside investor, which is number 3, number 4, business owner and inside investor on the right side of the cash flow circle. And the inside investor makes money work hard through sound investing. As you can see on the screen right now, we have the diagram showing the cash flow circle. Each side speaks and thinks of money differently. What separates the left side with the right side of the cash flow circle is the way we spend our time. As shown in the next diagram, the wealthy mindset invests as follows. So as a business owner, we invest, we grab the money from our businesses, and with the surplus, right, our positive cash flow, and we treat it as an expense, as a good expense, because we're going to reinvest it into another cash flow and asset. So we invest on the right side, from the right side of the cash flow circle. We control systems, which ultimately are businesses that are making a profit on us, like for us on autopilot, and that money, that cash flow, is being redirected back into our assets column, making that money work hard. So we're controlling systems for positive cash flow and sometimes capital gains income, right, depending on the asset. And then the surplus must be treated as an expense, and that will make us ultra wealthy because we are training ourselves to compound our assets column and creating money from thin air by learning how to tap into the velocity of cash flow, which is when we recoup our entire capital back from our investments, and we still collect passive income because we control them, even when we have no capital of ours invested in the deal. And it might have loans, but that's not our capital. As long as we collect our capital that we invested of our own back, and as long as we continue to collect positive cash flow when we pay the mortgage or the loans, every month that we collect the money, we still receive positive cash flow, whatever is left. And since we already recoup our capital back, then our cash flow even grows more because now it is money for nothing. We have no money of our own invested in the deal and we still receive cash flow. So how the wealthy minds invest is on the right side, right, of the cat. That's how we build wealth. So you can see on the diagram, the wealthy mindset invests as follows. And if you want to have this article, then make sure you go to our website and subscribe to our newsletter so that you get the articles via email. If you don't have time to listen to a podcast or watch a live stream, then you at least have some time to read before you go to sleep and are applying one of our laws here in our community, which is let's go to sleep smarter than we were yesterday. And that will create a ripple effect. At the end of the year, we definitely will be extraordinary. We have to tap into our best selves every day. Be extraordinary as much as possible every day. We need to have an organized schedule. We need to know exactly what we're doing. And as I said earlier, being a business owner requires a lot of self-motivation in a way. And sometimes when there's no motivation, we have to get it from anywhere. And we get it from the why. If our why is big enough, then we can push it through. And if we're doing something that is really for other people, then we can make it happen. Okay, but just know that it comes with building a good mindset when it comes to confronting blunders and any setback that we have. We need to have a good attitude about it. We need to make sure that we're learning as much as possible. Invest in our mentors. If any of us have experienced failure in the past, then we must launch our next venture. Now that we know what it takes to become a wealthy entrepreneur, we can start as soon as possible. The main difference between the wealthy and poor mindset is the way we spend our time on a daily basis. If a person works daily at a job for somebody else, then that person ironically has no time to make money, as the time spent is not on their assets column, but rather on somebody else's asset column. Choose our roles in life carefully and figure out our why we do what we do. Finally, if our why is strong enough, then we can persevere through any difficulties as long as we equip ourselves with the 5 essential characteristics mentioned above for a wealthy entrepreneur. I hope that you enjoyed today's talk. If you have any questions, please let me know. Start investing in high quality financial education with SCR Master Investor. Also go out there and look for mentors that align with our goals. Make sure that the mentor is real, they're doing or they have done what they're saying and what they're teaching us or what they're showing us. So we need to make sure that we choose them very carefully. The 5 people that we listen to on a daily basis and we spend time with, they hold our future. And be okay with saying no, because a lot of times we have to say no unapologetically to other people, to distractions, to say yes to our dreams and our financial goals. Bringing you the good and bad news of money, the business principles that work in all economies. Today we talked about the 5 main characteristics for a wealthy entrepreneur. Number 1, be resilient, have a thick skin. Number 2, create a fantastic network. Number 3, seek to exalt rather than to be praised. Number 4, have self-motivation. Number 5, show adaptability or be flexible. And lastly, make sure that we choose the right side of the cash flow circle. If our goal is to build financial freedom and true wealth, then we need to thrive on the right side of the cash flow circle, not on the left side. It takes a different mindset, different context, and we must adopt that. Click the link in the description so that you join our inner circle and start investing in the wealthy mindset so that we build the lifestyle that we desire. Stay extraordinary and wealthy. Bye for now.